Well, we have some big changes coming to iPad this year. And the time has come to recognize the platform in a special way. We're calling it iPadOS, and I'd like to give you a first look.
Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Roger and today I'm gonna talk about iPadOS, the new software that Apple created for the iPad and announced at its last public event. This new operating system, which is currently only available to some of us in beta version, will soon be available to everyone, and it appears that this will happen shortly after the next Cupertino Company event scheduled for the next Tuesday, September 10th. The introduction of this system will stop many of the criticism aimed at the iPad and its inability to be used as if it were a real computer, unlike some alternatives on the market, including the powerful Microsoft Surface Pro. In this video, we will talk about the ones that, for me, are the four most important changes that the iPadOS will bring and will change the way we interact with the iPad, maximizing all the capabilities of this machine that was always limited by an operating system originally designed for the iPhone and then applied to the iPad. These four changes are as follows: the improved File app, the Safari browser in desktop version, mouse support, the possibility of connecting external storage, the Files app. The Files app was Apple's first attempt to bring a file manager similar to the one it makes available on Mac computers, but its features were very limited and it could do little more than finding some documents we had stored in different apps. There were several alternatives in the App Store with better features, and the Documents app just pops up in my mind as one of those alternatives. With iPadOS, reality changes and the Files app can already be used as a true file manager. Coupled with the drag and drop function and the ability to open two windows of the same app, it becomes very easy to move files between multiple apps, create folders anywhere we have stored files, and even move photos between applications. Safari browser with desktop version. iOS 12 already had this feature, but to be honest, it never worked very well and was far from being able to do what this new update allows. Like this: when you open the Safari browser now, by default the site to visit is always displayed in the desktop version. With that, we can do, for example, download music or other files directly from the browser, rather than having to forward the link to specific apps. Once downloaded, we can find the file in the downloaded folder in the Files app. There's a chance now to use and view YouTube in the browser. Some advantages of that: using the picture-in-picture feature, which doesn't exist in the respected app, allows you to continue watching videos while browsing other apps. Also, if you are a fan of Google's app, like Google Drive and Google Docs, you can use these features right in your browser. Just a little note though, at least so far, to use Google Docs functionality in the browser, we cannot have the Google Docs app installed on the iPad. Otherwise, the browser will always try to forward the functionality to the app. Maybe in the final version of iPadOS this no longer happens. Mouse support. Despite being a function associated with the accessibility that you can set in the settings, this function allows making use of a mouse, almost as if we were using it in a computer. Also, being able to configure the functions to be assigned to each mouse button improves the experience. external storage. Perhaps, and I say it again, perhaps this is the biggest revolution brought by the iPad OS. Finally, it will be possible to connect different forms of storage to the iPad. Combined with the new functions of the Files app, it becomes possible not only to import files stored on external devices, but also to export files from the iPad or elsewhere accessible via iPad, such as a cloud, to those external devices. As a less positive note, we point out that as we move files between different locations, we are not able to know how long the files transfer will take. Also, we are unable to know how much free storage space is available on each of these external devices. So, these 4 relevant changes that iPadOS will bring make it possible to considerably improve the experience that iPad offers, and once again, Apple puts the competition on the spot. It's just too bad it took so long to Apple to listen to their users. And that's it, friends, that's what I had to tell you today. If you have any questions or concerns, or want me to talk about some functionality that I didn't mention here, leave it in your comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to receive weekly videos I post. Finally, turn on the notification bell to know when a new video is released. Thank you and see you next time.